this point, we all know about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. She is 24. He is 73. When discussing his upcoming book to CBS This Morning, we had some pretty revealing moments.
The other change for Belichick is 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that that's the philosophy.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
Hudson, per Men's Journal, is a former competitive cheerleader and pageant queen. How they met, Hudson does not want to dish. Us Magazine revealed Belichick married Debbie Clark in 1977. They have 3 kids. They split in 2006. Belichick got over it with the executive director of his foundation, Linda Holliday. Then in 2023, after more than 10 years, they split and went their separate ways. According to TMZ, Belichick and Hudson were on a plane from Boston to Florida together in 2021. They write, "Our sources say the ex-Pats head coach was intrigued by the work that Hudson was studying and sparked up a conversation for one of her classes and sparked up a conversation with her over it all. They add, we're told the talk led to an autograph, which led to an exchange of numbers, which ultimately led to the duo dating. At that time," reports The Wrap, "she was in college and 19 years old. Though they do not want to discuss, they are pretty public on Instagram."
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet and she's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
And thus, presented without comment. And presented without comment. What makes this even weirder, though, is that The Athletic would file an open records request where the head coach would make his own request to a UNC administrator that Jordan Hudson be CC'd on emails going forward. She is not an employee with the school. She does not have a contract. She would intervene when the school hired Bill's son, Steve. And though she previously worked in social media marketing adjacent for a brand, Steve Belichick worked for his father with the New England Patriots, where he ran the defense. He would then go to the University of Washington and be a defensive coordinator. Hudson would write to the school's media team to raise awareness regarding a sometimes subtle, sometimes obvious, frequently occurring detail within media releases and social media posts. Though Steve is Bill's son, he should be depicted and represented as his own established credible entity, as opposed to an extension of Bill. That was in December of 2022. It can be easily misinterpreted that Steve is simply benefiting from nepotism, but that is not the case. Oh, no, of course not. So not only is there Steve Belichick, who's on the UNC roster and also was with the New England Patriots under his dad and head coach Bill, but then there's Brian Belichick, who was hired to run the DBs and safeties after being in New England for almost a decade. So what do you call that, Jordan Hudson? But nonetheless, before her involvement, she did do social media marketing. And from the outlet, Hudson does appear to have a professional involvement with Bill Belichick. An email signature would identify her as the COO of Belichick Productions. The Athletic couldn't find a registered business under that name. And this is also very, very revealing. Belichick filed 14 phrases for trademark, and it appears Hudson could cash in on those trademarks. They write, the company seeking the trademarks was TCE Rights Management, a recently formed company in the state of Massachusetts that lists Jordan Hudson as its manager. Massachusetts business records would show Hudson as the manager of Trouble Cub Enterprise LLC, along with other entities, including one company with a multi-platform media project, Chapel Bill LLC, a product merchandising group for the All Belichick team, and a video podcast production firm, Coach Show LLC. So not only has she maneuvered away to be heavily involved in the University of North Carolina, specifically their football program, she has also found her way to being a COO of a company and can cash in on trademarks. Go figure. She would also maneuver her way into a Super Bowl commercial that starred the Afflecks, as in Ben Affleck, along with his brother, and Bill Belichick.
What I've been told is that Jordan essentially has been functioning as Bill Belichick's
momager.
Nuh-uh. That is so much better than what I was going to say, but she has represented herself essentially as his de facto agent.
Okay,
the person who you need to go through to book Bill Belichick for a Super Bowl commercial or for the other commitments he has as a multi-platform personality. She's the gateway. And so in this case, what I have been told reliably is that Jordan happened to then use that power to be in the commercial as well. But I think the point should not be lost that Bill Belichick is doing literally the opposite of what he used to do.
Yeah.
And then there was the HBO UNC Hard Knocks series that never was.
A couple days ago, it was reported that Hard Knocks, the documentary series that follows NFL teams, was interested in following Bill Belichick and the UNC football team and his presumably year coaching for whatever, however long this
6 months
bit is going to last, like however long it's going to last. So that initially came out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we were like, oh my God, this is because of us talking about it. We said that they're going to do a reality show, him and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, the 24-year-old. But now it's come out, he's not doing it.
Why?
Well, according to a report, a quote from NFL media spokesperson said, NFL Films had discussions with Coach Belichick and UNC about appearing on Hard Knocks this offseason, but couldn't reach an agreement. So I'm like, okay, well, why couldn't they reach an agreement?
Right.
I feel like it's probably a pretty straightforward.
Well, because last we heard, when this was first reported, they were like, the deal's not signed yet, but
Right.
it's imminent.
It's happening.
It's very close to happening.
Yeah. So in this report, it said that sources said creative control was at the center of sides being unable to reach an agreement. Where does your mind go?
By creative control, do you mean Jordan Hudson?
Correct.
Oh my God, Madeline, this is 1,000% what happened.
For sure.
She wanted to be in it more, or she wanted certain things for the show, or she was like telling Bill he had to demand certain things to the point where NFL media was probably like, you know what? We're out.
Yeah, 100%. Because as we know, she's kind of his, maybe not really, but sort of like middleman manager.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. If anybody out there actually knows this, please, please, please let us know what went down.
Right.
Because I am willing to bet these podcast microphones on the fact that she had her paws in this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.